Good morning, traders, and welcome back, of course, to the Rules of Pool competition. And guess what, team? From 36th place now to 18th place, and I'm trying to crack the top 10. I got my man Steve with me today and ready to get into the market. The question is, are you ready to rule the pool? All right, traders, let's go ahead. Let's get the trading day started. And of course, we'll take a look at what's going on in the market. We'll also take a look at the leaderboard as you guys are seeing things in the competition definitely get hot and some big trades going on this morning. We'll talk a little bit about some of those. I'm definitely catching a big trade on Zap to the short side. That's what I'm seeing out there. But let's take a look here at the list. Of course, I got Steve with me in the house. We're ready to get after the market. I got to hear about how you're doing maybe in the competition, Steve. Have you been taking a little bit of a swing on this, or what's going on with it, man?
I'm going to be completely honest. I have been very out of the loop this week. Yesterday was my first day trading this week, so I am not part of the competition. I hear it's
that's great though. I mean, hey, that's great. It's all about just sometimes taking a little time for yourself, and that's the fun part of trading, right? Is that you're able to worry about what you want to do in life versus what everybody's telling you to do. It looks like you got your own little cat in the house. I might have to pick up Hendrix. Let's do a little introduction here.
Yeah, pay the cat tax. This is Cleo, everybody. She's a sweetheart, and
got Cleo.
Very photogenic.
I got Hendrix in the house, man. My Jimi Hendrix in the house. There you go. The cats are out. The cats are out. And I heard something that Monday was take your cat to work day, but Steve and I just do it every day. Let's get to the action. We'll see what's going on in the market here, guys. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. And you guys are seeing the top is still hanging on here. Now 64,000, of course. And look what's on there. Zap. Right, so you guys are seeing it. A lot of a battle out there. There's some big traders out there, and definitely ready to battle out there, guys. I'm right here, 18th place at 12,000. I'm trying to get up there towards the top 10. Top 10's at 16,000 today, so I need like about 3 or 4K to at least crack the top 10 if they stay where they are, right? So we'll see what happens. Really, just trying to be consistent, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. I haven't been trying to take, like $108,000 swing, but we've made some good gains, right? I'm being steady. You see this 4,000 gain is my top gain. And I've just been kind of making these $2,000 to $4,000 trades and just trying to keep stacking those up. So we'll see what happens today if I can get into the top 10. But of course, you guys see some of the top traders out there. And right now, guys, you guys will see it here, guys. There's a Zap short that's a monster trade. Yesterday opened up at 275. The stock's trading at 205 right now. So he's killing it here on that Zap trade. So it definitely going to be looking at Zap. It's going to be in play, of course. It was the electrical vehicle play. And look at this position up there to the 275. And look where we're trading at now. So, hey, killer position, whoever opened this one up. They're going easily from, like, let's say probably at 8,000 now to looking at 32. So it doesn't mean that you guys out there can't win the competition. Like always, focus on the risk to return, but take some shots, right? It's a competition account for a reason. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look into the market and see what we can find today. I got, of course, some stocks that we can talk about. We can take a look at some of the gappers. Of course, LGVN, one of the top movers of this morning. Say hello in the chat if you guys are out there. Boogie Woogie, El Don, the hamster. Our cats might like you, but we'll keep getting after it. Yes, the cats are in the house, man, and we got some cats here with me today. I got Steve in the house, man. Steve, I gotta find out a little bit more about your trading style throughout the day, what you like to look for. So I'm definitely looking forward towards that. One thing I always say is that every trader kind of has a different style, personality, and we can all kind of learn from each other. So I'm looking to talk and find out about Steve's trading. If you guys out there want to ask him questions, today's your chance, right? Throw them up in the chat. We'll definitely catch those. Adobe is the top leading play, at least for right now, off of their big earnings report, giving them a nice little lift this morning. So we're going to see what happens there in Adobe. RH getting destroyed on the downside. Restoration Hardware, definitely not probably the place to be. GameStop pushing back the meeting yesterday. That definitely shook things up, guys. I was able to trade GameStop pretty well yesterday. Got that bottoming action right off of that kind of 26 level. Eventually the stock closed towards 29. We'll see if it gets to 30 today, or does it take a step back? And Tesla, Elon getting paid, man. And we were looking to see if this was going to take kind of this inverse head and shoulders approach. Some people were thinking that it was broken here, but a quick recovery tells me that, hey, some people are maybe playing this inverse head and shoulders. I'm looking to see if we can break 190 today on the upside. It's at 185 right now. Definitely in play. You guys can see it. Yesterday, we were up there towards 191. Let's see if we can get back up there today with the Tesla Dragon. And the last one I'll bring in here is Nucor. Nucor revealed Q2 guidance, projecting EPS of 220 to 230. Missing the $3 estimate. So steel taking a big beating today. You're going to see other names probably take a hit too, like US Steel, Cleveland Cliff, also a steel player that could be taking another leg down. We'll see what happens with these. Like always, guys, if you guys have stocks you guys want to check up, throw them in the chat. You guys see the gappers list here. We'll take a look at what Steve's watching in the market. What are you taking a look at, man? One of the things that I think is important, especially when you're taking a couple of days off, is that you have that fresh view of the market, right? A view that I can't even have because I've been trading it every day. So what are you seeing out there, Steve, and what are you liking?
Well, yeah, let's see. We have a lot of same things on our watch list there. I was doing a little GME trading yesterday. I liked that that higher low it put in. I liked the basing action. I think that there's still juice in the tank. I think everybody was so scared of the whole, I don't know if you saw, but apparently Roaring Kitty closed his options, or at least closed part of them, exercised part of them.
Long story short, some people are talking about that, right? Because the contracts traded a substantial amount, right? Way higher than the average volume. But does it really mean that he closed them? He could have rolled them, right? I mean, that's another possibility there, that he rolled them out a little bit further out in time. And another mention this morning, and I saw it, was that he put out a post last night and boasting the stake of the shares to 9 million shares.
Right.
So what if he's actually trying to get the amount of shares that he needs to have the calls actually be exercised?
Well, there's a lot of interesting angles here. I think, definitely the big picture is he increased his share size substantially. So anybody saying, oh, he sold out, oh, he dumped on everybody. I mean, what would you do with an option expiring next week? I'd probably sell it or exercise it too. I'd do something with it. So
9 million shares is not cheap. Let's just say that much.
He likes the stock. What can you say, right? I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm a cautious bull with shares around 27 average this run. Last time I played it, we played it 21 to 50 to 60. We were selling out in our Discord, so we were really happy with that. But then I started buying it a little early. I was bag holding some from 30, but we got a 27 average in a little position. Let's have some fun, right?
Yeah, it's a fun stock to trade at least, and it moves fast, right? That's another reason why traders are trying to trade it. Easily you get $1 whip in like one candle, 2 candles. So be careful out there, traders, like always, but we'll see what happens. And I'm just thinking that eventually, at some point, I don't know when it's going to happen, but why not some kind of spike into that kind of trend line, right? Give you those 3 trend line approach look. And, that's one thing that I've seen. This was kind of really symmetric where it turned around last time. So, hey, maybe the 40 is in play at some point. When's that going to happen? Is it today? Is it when the options go towards next week at the 21st, right? And they expire? Is it going to be on Monday at the new GameStop meeting, right? We don't know. One thing we do, we'll get after a team. That's for sure. GameStop definitely in play today. AMC also in play, right? I mean, this one I haven't really played throughout this whole time. I don't know if it ever really gets moving. I mean, I know GameStop at least has a little bit more of that following. I think the apes are still a little upset, man. They can't get this thing really move.
I mean, I think the dilution aspect's pretty big. I mean, say what you will about Adam Aaron, but he's a savvy businessman, and he does a good job managing that flow.
Yeah, all you gotta do is scroll back the tape, right? I mean, they'll tell you it all, man.
So yeah, personally, I don't touch it, but
yeah, it's a no touch today. What other ones you looking out there, Steve? What else you got for me?
I gotta say, this price action overnight kind of messed my game plan up here a little. I was looking at chips. I thought that they were going to be really strong. I mean, I still think that they are showing relative strength, but I don't know. How are you feeling about this morning dump? I'm not
So one thing that I've been looking at, and I talked about this yesterday, and for you guys out there, traders, keep up with us next week. We're going to start putting out these posts that I've been working on. I've been just writing them down for myself, and I can give you guys a little sneak peek. You guys see it right here. So you guys see Thursday's posts, things like that. So a lot of times when I'm looking at, guys, is I'm looking at trying to give you guys the information, right? So yesterday I was talking about the Jerome spotlight, right? So Jerome Powell hawkish stance or lack thereof, right? Because the reaction really was not the bullish, the bearish look that was actually intended in the meeting. I mean, he was pretty bearish. But at the same time, the market ripped to the upside. What did that tell me? Well, this can also tell me that we might start having like blow off top look, right? Where we start to kind of maybe really get these last little bits of drives where the institutions can start to sell into the move. I thought a part of that was also with TSM kind of coming down when Apple was starting to rip, and then all of a sudden TSM's right back up. So if there's two stocks that I'd watch right now, TSM, Apple, right? Will those turn around? Because these are the recent kind of really breakout ones that I'm looking at. You can see it on TSM's chart. Now you're like clear skies and you're just breaking through highs. Same thing on Apple, right? Clear skies. Now you're just breaking through highs. So I would look for eventually maybe NVIDIA to kind of also have that same look, right? We're still kind of holding in. Until these break the 9 EMAs, those light blue lines, I wouldn't be overreacting. But at the same time, you got to understand at some point this trade will turn. Right. I like looking at a lot of industries and kind of sector analysis, stuff like that, Steve. So I'll bring you guys this really quickly that I was checking out this morning. And so this tells me yearly and performance, right? So performance over the year, right? And then you can see it here in technology. We're up 51%. But I think what's really important is when you look at this semiconductor space and just the industry, I mean, look at it here. Yeah, you have a couple of losing years, like in 22, 35%, right? 2008, horrible year, 45%. But what do you see else? I see a ton of winning here, man. 33, 50, 50, 42, 79%, right? I mean, those pretty much stomp all those red right out, right? And so I think that's an important outlook. You definitely know where the money is. The money's in the semiconductors, the computer systems, and the semiconductor equipment stocks. That's for sure. And those have been ripping and continuing to rip. So, hey, the money is staying in with the top names. Where the performance is, it seems the money is. And can you blame them? I mean,
you brought up a good point, and this is kind of this is the crux of the whole market to me. The name of the game is what's going to go on with what's going to happen with breadth from here. Are we going to see this super narrow rally continue? To me, that would be more indicative of probably a blow off, as there's going to be there has to be dispersion eventually. I mean, like you're saying, big money's looking for a place to sell into. But they also want to ride the train until the music stops, right? So yeah, it's tricky, but I don't know. RSP, yeah, perfect right there. It's so coiled, right? It's like, what's it gonna do? To me, I'm a perpetual optimist. I see a big old cup and handle there. I personally, I think it looks good, but um, value traders,
I
value
like
investors
that.
haven't
I
been having
like
fun.
that,
So
guys. We got a perma bull in the house with next to the. Sometimes I refer to myself as a perma bear because
hey,
it's just natural reactions, guys, and you got to know it, guys. But if anything, I've changed more and more throughout my years of trading to be optimistic, right? But that just tells me it all, right, guys? And that's one thing that I think is very important. What Steve and I are looking at right now, the equally weighted versus the standard SPY, right? We all know what that is. Those are those tech names that are running the show and those top names. But I think it's so important to kind of keep an eye on this and then maybe taking a look at the small caps, right, with the IWM to seeing if this could really get moving. Because
it's a big story. Sorry, I was just gonna say
no,
with
no, go for it,
IWM.
Steve.
It's I've been noticing this this pair trade, the whole long short equities funds. They're all just slamming IWM whenever there's even the slightest bit of panic. Not even panic, just it's just a dispersion, a rotation trade. So I mean, I'm buying things in queues in terms of looking for momentum. I'm shorting things that are small caps on pops, and it's a game about quality right now, and even in sectors that you don't think are about quality, I've just noticed a flight to the quality names. Like Bitcoin miners, for example. I have a basket and it's diversified, but I was just laughing because a few of them are like IREN or BITF.
Yeah.
A few of them are Mara or Riot, and just the difference in performance between something like IREN and Mara is just. Or Riot's probably a better example, but people really want the good stuff. They don't want to pay for something else.
Oh, 100%, guys. And I love when you bring up stuff like that because on the radar 2 days in a row, we got the miners in the house, guys. So definitely taking a look into the miners. Yesterday, top play for me was Clean Spark and given here, guys. So we'll see if this can really get moving, especially after that. I don't know if you caught that, Steve, but that like fake short report, I'm gonna call it, on Mara. You know how those short reports are, man. They can shake out a lot of retail, and then all of a sudden the stock just starts booming. So that was this day where we actually got a volume boost. Then I was wondering, okay, so we're gonna come back to support, but can we just start ramping back to resistance? And there you guys have it. Clean Spark back up towards that 18. I'm wondering, can we finally get that run towards 20, 25? I talked about Bitcoin also kind of getting some support. And I don't have it specifically on the chart right here, but you guys can see it here. I'll pull it into the screen. So I'm as transparent as can be, guys. You guys saw me. I had this waiting here. And a big part that I'm looking at is kind of these monthly supports starting to hold. So a lot of times when we get this kind of sideways consolidation on Bitcoin, I lean more to the bullish side now than to the bearish side. So sideways consolidation just gives the institutions and bigger money that had been coming into like the ETFs more time for accumulation, right? So we'll see if that can really start getting going. If Bitcoin can make the move with the miners really lifting, hey, not a bad one to kind of talk about. I actually know a Bitcoin miner CEO. We're going to have to bring him on. From Hive Blockchain. So, hey, stay tuned,
good
team.
Money. Good company. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Steve, I'll bring them on. One of the things is I want to be bringing on more things here for Trade the Pool, guys. So hit that subscribe down below, hit the like. We're going to be reaching out to sometimes bringing on companies, giving you guys more information. I want you guys to stay informed. And also, like always, I look at industries and things like this because I love theme and thematic trading. I think it's one of the best ways to trade is knowing a theme and wondering, is it going to get hot? One that was on the radar yesterday that I'm watching is Airbnb. Can it close this gap or will it start to head right back down? Like we've been watching also in Nike. Will Nike close the gap, right? You see how it's rejecting that gap right now. Could go lower, could turn right back around. We'll see what happens. Let's catch some stocks in the chat here, Steve. I'm seeing Netflix mentioned. Who's watching their Netflix out there? Seems like a lot of people are.
That's a powerhouse, man. I mean, look at the strength on this. Let's see. Is it?
It's crazy to think this stock was at 200, guys. You got yourself a 74% discount in Netflix, and it's right back up, man.
It's just insane, right? This is like one of the best examples of anybody who tells me that algorithmic trading doesn't drive the market to some extent. It's like this thing made a decision like $200 ago that it was going to all-time highs, and it doesn't care what happens. It's going to all-time highs. You know, it'll drag SPY up and the Q's up by a tear if needed. It's gonna hit it. You know,
and it's crazy. It still has these like kind of gap down moments too, and then all of a sudden it just climbs right back. Said what gap, man?
Those gap down moments are like human beings looking at this chart and going, "No way!" Right? And then
there's no way it can keep going. There's no way it can keep going. Same thing with Nvidia. I'm sure plenty of traders have been like, "There's no way it can keep going." I'll tell you one thing. That's a recipe for disaster out there.
Right. Yeah. Can I show you one chart that's a perfect example of this?
Yeah. If you want, share the screen. Share the screen if you want, Steve. We can see it too.
Let's see. Bear with me just 1 second here.
Short bias for Airbnb, says VSync. Hey, that's what it's about, guys. And just one thing that I want you guys to be able to do is when you guys throw in chat comments, tell me, what are you guys seeing? What are you guys liking? Is there a theme? Don't like the one that we like. Tell us. Because at the end of the day, guys, there's always two sides of the tape, right? I always say that, man. There's always someone short on probably your long and probably long on one of your shorts. So, hey, that's just the way the market is, man. What are you seeing there, Steve?
So I just wanted to bring up, let me actually do it like this. On the left here is the SFIX monthly. And then let me get my cat off my desk. There we go. All right.
And then we got problem right now.
We got Eli Lilly here too. So I was just talking to my friend and I said, what's the funniest, wildest thing about the market is right now is when people talk about VIX Crush, they don't realize where we are in this cycle. This is the monthly chart. A true parabola goes vertical. We are here on the SFIX parabola, so to speak. We could easily see another 50% or so on SFIX over the next year. You know, like the game can go on. They can keep crushing it. They have levers to pull. It's an election year. I see zero reason that they don't drift this up over summer. Market makers, they put in their algos. They set it all. Now they're at the Hamptons. You know, they're getting ready to clock out for a couple months. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Definitely. And show the cat. We did rewind it. VSync. We gave a nice little introduction. They got a better introduction than we got this morning, Steve. So we'll see what happens. But definitely taking a look into the market. I like that mention though, Steve, because the truth is that it's also whenever you're playing to a stock at all-time highs and you're just trying to call the turnaround, you have nothing to go off of, man. So it's very difficult. Like the truth is that the only thing that I see sometimes that I can play is very short-term momentum to the downside. Maybe that's the approach, but you're just battling the algos, and you'll see it was a lot of times where even if you take the short, right, all of a sudden you get that first move down, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got this, and then boom, the algos drive it back through that resistance, and that's how Nvidia's been.
Oh, right, absolutely.
Nvidia's been doing those little fake downside moves. All of a sudden you think you're going to get it, and then boom, right back up through the highs. So be careful out there, traders. That's what Apple did earlier in the week. It came down off of that AI mention, down, looked down at the pre-market, right at the open. Pop, 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 pop. That's how it is, man. That's how it is sometimes. And that Apple move, that was wicked here. That was right here on this little down move, and then quick move right back up. So we'll see what happens there. What else you got here for me? We got about 3 minutes left for the bell.
3 minutes left. There's a rates basket that I'm looking at in general. I'm not sure if they break out. It seems like they kind of got front ran and then now they're on the fence. So that's names like AENPH, solar names, Rocket, mortgage names, Zillow. I think that there was some catalyst for something home building related. So
exactly. So I saw a lot of refinancing mentions jumping. Of course, loans kind of mentions getting a little bit of a spike there. And you're 100%. It was all of these kind of stocks: Zillow, Open, Affirm.
What a crazy move on Affirm, right?
Hey,
Gap up
guess who was
10%.
swinging Affirm?
Oh yeah, very nice, very nice.
Hey, look, I still got a piece of it here. I'll show you guys that. I still got a piece, right? I'm looking for the pullback now to maybe take a little bit of an ad here, but 3016 booms on the swing trade, our new eval. I don't know if you've heard about it, Steve, but we got the swing trade side of things now, and I took a nice swing there on Affirm. And this is all about like kind of that long-term trend line approach, right? I like to look for a lot of swings. So I'm like, okay, well, that long-term approach, a lot of bottoming here. Can we turn the MACD? So that's when I got right here. I could see this already had crossed. I was like, this actually gives me something to go off of. I can use these 29s and 28s. Let's take a shot. Let's see if we can get to the resistance and then break through it. Then you get a little Apple news, and that can always do it, right? So not a bad one. I'm actually thinking about it coming into this gap zone and then finding some buy. So now I'm looking for a rebuy into that gap zone. So we'll see what happens there in Affirm. What else you got there? We got a couple seconds here.
These are just scribbles here. Let's see. MU here. I'm just keeping an eye on it.
MU.
I clearly thought I was going to take a path up here. I was just doodling last night. Ignore all of that. We're going to watch this 141.75 level. It can dip down into this previous resistance flip support here. I'm looking for this to hold. If not, it probably takes a path down to sub 140 level to retest that area. In general, I think that if we catch, chips are a good bet, but I am a little shaken by how strong they were overnight into the roll. They were up like 2% and then really rolled there. Looks like we're just about to open here. So,
all right, guys, let's go ahead. Let's have some fun, guys. You guys stay safe out there. Like always, focus on your trading. And if you're in the competition, well, we only got 2 trading days left, right? So get after it. We'll see what we can come up with today. Let's see if I can crack the top 10. Big part of me has been trying to do what I did yesterday, guys. I'm going to continue to try to do that, which is what? Build a early cushion to use it in the competition. So if I got a max risk of 2,000, right? I've been talking about this. If I can give myself a nice little $1,000, $2,000 gain at the beginning, I can maybe use that to have 4,000 risk, right? Versus just having that 2,000. We'll see what happens, guys. Let's take some shots and see what we can come up with. I do got a swing trade on in Mara, so I'll be paying attention a little bit towards the open here. And this is in the eValve account, not the competition account. I have it right off the 20s. I have 1998. So I got 50 shares there on a swing for Mara. Would really like to see this 1870s hold and back through that trend line, starting to push towards the 25. All right, first one up, CAVL showing up on the scanners. This one's just popping towards the $4. Now holding in on that $4 spot. We'll look to see if it comes right back down, but definitely an interesting one. And this is a tobacco brand. What is going on? I haven't traded a tobacco brand in forever.
Tobacco.
Is it Philip Morris type of risk-off? Yeah, KAVL.
That's a little spooky to see, right? Money flying into defensives.
Hey, man, you never know what you find sometimes. That's definitely an interesting one, to say the least. LGVN, of course, top trade, giving a nice little boost there towards 360s. This one's on the radar. We'll see what happens. Steve, if at any moment you see a trade or you want to mention something, let me know. I can throw your screen up. We'll keep it rocking.
Right on, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, right now I'm just keeping an eye on basically the basket that we talked about there. I am also, let's see, vaguely looking at energy. I don't think it's quite ready, but I did see some flow on a few of the leaders like SU. So I want to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'll keep letting you know if things pop up here. But so far, just watching the open here, looks like we are testing VWAP, a second test pushing through now. So yeah, let's see if we can get some traction here. It's a pretty big level for me. It's 541.
All right, guys, I'm watching one out the gates that yesterday we had that Zap play, right? That was an electric vehicle. I'm seeing another one here, GOEV, Canoe, right? It could just be kind of people looking for kind of that sympathy play here. So I don't mind this one. It's starting to get strong at the 240s. I would like a pullback towards 230s, 229s off the VWAP. We'll see what happens there on GOEV. See, I mean, I know that Zappy Zap was making a big move yesterday, and it's actually pushing right now. It's back to the 217s. So keeping this on the radar, and that tells me, maybe look for some potential pullbacks. Tesla with a nice little pullback to the 183. That's going to be on the radar for sure. Firm coming back into that spot there, guys. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to wait for it to get back into the gap zone, somewhere trying to test this low, this 31.21s. Let's say 31 for a potential add. Longevron trying to get towards 4. We'll see if it gets there. 4. I know a lot of people are watching it for a 4 run. It's at 375 right now. Trying to push.
Semi's heavy out the gate here. Surprising. Got to see if they can settle above the low of this range that's been consolidating in. Otherwise, we may be seeing some topping action there.
Yeah.
Hope not. But
SMH. Coming down a little bit. Could be a nice little hourly pullbacks. We'll see what happens. Apple staying strong. That tells me a little bit something too, right? A little bit of a shake there. Apple pushing towards the the 215?
Yeah, looks
215.
There was
Nvidia's the down little turn there. Nvidia with a little downturn. We'll see what happens there.
Amazon looking good today. I'm sorry, Microsoft. Amazon is not looking good. Amazon's heavy, so probably Tesla up. I like the inverse theory. No, Tesla having trouble too.
Yeah,
interesting.
One that's been hot for sure. That's staying hot right now. Qualcomm also another one. Man, this was a nice one off of this kind of like 100 spot. Oof. Still look back at that. That was a good one. That really got hot. All right, looking around. Let's take a look at GME. Where's the stop on the GameStop?
Big volume, cooking that 30 to 29 kind of band of resistance there. I like it.
Yeah, trying to get hot there. I mean, one of the things is when it's kind of slow, I look for those fake outs to the downside, especially because you did get a lot of those yesterday where you're just getting wicks through and then recoveries. So we'll see if it can hold this trend line from yesterday. So it kept going back into this spot and like kind of trying to fake down, and bouncing off of it. So I'm wondering if we could actually just kind of really crack that. If it goes back down, but let's say below 25, that's where I see the shorts really coming in. Above the 30s, they're looking for longs. And where is it hanging out? On the top end of the range. So that makes me more worried for it just to blow through and kind of squeeze the shorts. So short side of things. I'm not liking GME, but we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. I totally agree, especially with consolidating at the top of the range. It's finding like price acceptance up here. People who hated it 2 days ago at 24, now they're starting to say, oh, maybe I'll nibble at 29. So, that's the classic GameStop setup. They hate it at 50. They love it at 100, So what can you do, right?
Yeah, exactly. What can you do, man? All right, guys, here's another one here, guys. I like this bottoming action. This is a cheaper name. 1, 2, 3. I like this fourth attempt to break down for it to hold. Now I'm looking for it to come right to it and then bounce right off of this level. AIMD. This might take my first shot here on the swing, on the competition account today. That's AIMD. See if I can get this one here.
Zim is a strong name that might have a little bit of juice here. It's been a wild kind of loose trader, but it's cooking 19 right now and should have a decent amount of room up to 20 for a quick trade. But keeping an eye there. That's a swing for me.
ZS had some news this morning. Zscaler with a nice little upgrade this morning. JP Morgan upgrading it to overweight, increasing the price target to 230. Hasbro with a nice upgrade. And Shopify with a nice upgrade. So Shop is one of the ones I really like long term. I know sometimes we do get to talk long term. Always going to be kicking myself on Shop. I think that's one of the best stocks I can have long term.
I was just looking at my list here, and it's one of 3 things that are green right now. I was curious about that.
Yeah,
it's a really strong name.
That upgrade is not gonna hurt it too much there. Man, I still look back at these opportunities to 45. That's the area that I definitely feel like I might never get a chance back down there. But can it fill the gap?
It looks like such a strong base in the past week or so, a couple weeks. feels like they want to just ramp it. They said, nope, enough's enough. But it's been such a tricky name to trade, honestly. For me, at least. You can see how marked up my chart is. Just chaos.
That's when you know, man. That's when you know. And it's just all marked out.
Battle scars. Yeah, no, it's these are mean, these moves here, but it does feel like you know, it's very constructive overall, especially on the higher time frames. You know, you got your cup, you got your handle. Just real sloppy, but strong name. People aren't gonna stop buying stuff.
That's for sure. All right, guys, looking around, guys, looking at this AIMD. It just pulled back a little bit further than I wanted, but I could still use this 102 as my risk here. So I'm taking a look at it, guys, for it to come back through that 110 and then take that run. I can see the run going towards like 133s and 150s on the top range. Let's see what happens on this AIMD right off of that $1 spot. The only thing that concerns me is that it has that $1 pop and then just right back down. So a lot of times you can get that. Let's see if it can actually start to hold this, give it another little drive. All right, looking around, team. If you guys see anything in the chat, let us know. We'll catch up some comments in the chat. I'm seeing Hims push the all-time highs. And Hamster, that's exactly one of those ones I was talking about on my playbook, looking for that to keep going. These are the things that I want to show you guys, because these are the things that I'm going to be bringing, especially starting next week. Look right here. Hims and Hers, SPAC stock is nearing all-time highs at 25.40, fueled by the rise in prescription by males and weight loss drug euphoria. And look at that thing. That's a bad puppy there, Hims and Hers.
Oh, it hurts, man. I was in it. I was in at 13.50. I took it off at like 16 and felt great about myself when it started to roll. And I just have been watching it, man. I thought it'd come back. It just went.
Yeah, man. It's been holding that light blue 9 EMA. That tells me a lot. That tells me that the MACD is still going to be looking like a good expansion. And boom,
it's crazy. What I was seeing on it. Just it's a pattern that you don't see very often, but like on the daily chart, it's like this high and tight flag where it's consolidating upwards, which is just crazy. You know, it's like they cannot push the thing down. It's
they can't get it down, man.
Yeah, I guess that's what the Hims is for.
Ooh, GOEV, guys, that's a miss in my book, guys. I'm gonna be a little upset about that one probably. We'll see if I can get a chance to get it here, but I was looking for the VWAP bounce there off the 230s. Nice little run back towards the 250s. The big thing for me is watching this one because it has a tendency of having that high short interest. It's kind of like Mullen, where like, you know, like when it starts to move pretty fast. So I'm taking a look at it. I know Zap was making a move, so let's see if Zap can make the move. Also looking at GOEV to get that push. There's a high from yesterday, 261. I already missed it, but hey, it is what it is. We'll see if this can keep running. Not a bad little move there. That's going to be a little bit of a miss. We'll see what happens, guys. Let's take a look and see what we can find. LGVN, we'll see what happens on Longevron. This has some top in action, all near that 390s. We'll look to see if we take it out today, but one thing that I can clearly see, a lot of topping in that 390s.
I'm seeing a lot of support getting built up in SPY underneath this level that it just broke through. So okay, now I'm just seeing on Bookmap they're starting to actively defend this level. So we'll get to see if there's actually some real resistance here. If we can cut through this like butter, then we should be having a really nice trend day. But I think this is where we could start to have trouble. I want to see it hold over 541. But in general, I think that we're starting to get some constructive action. Okay, so it can push down here and maybe it chops here a little bit. Then I can see it go like that, or it could come back down and go for a double bottom and still go up, or it could just roll on us.
Guys, I'm seeing that Kava first and early, guys. We saw that. That was the first stock I mentioned out the gates, man. That thing, I don't know what's going on with tobacco, but it's flying high today, guys. Almost breaking that 5. And Steve's keeping us up with all of the kind of the semiconductor action out there. We'll see what happens.
So far, not great. I think most semis are okay. I'm in MU, and that's not feeling great. But I think that 140 should be decent support. SMH here is looking at, okay, it did hold the 265 handle. That's nice. Good support zone here. So it seems like it's fine, honestly. Video a little heavier. Not too bad. Oh, is it showing? It's not showing the chart that I'm on. I apologize. That would probably help.
There it is. No worries.
Okay, I've been doing that for 5 minutes. Sorry about that.
Been seeing so many cup and handles lately, dude. It's ridiculous, right? Like
everywhere.
I rarely see this, but look at it even right now on Long Chevron. It's in the little cup, and the handle coming, right?
Totally.
I mean, the cup and then the handle, right? I mean, it's crazy how many I've been seeing lately.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've noticed that trend, Steve, but
yeah, I don't know if you're talking daily or intraday, but I mean,
it's on everything. It's almost like it's what that tells me, that the algos are playing that pattern, right? And and that's what that tells me, right? Because when you start seeing it just like on random stocks that have nothing to do with each other, and you're seeing it just show up, this is why I think it's so important to take statistical data on patterns sometimes and understanding what's working, right?
Absolutely. And it's also understanding the methodology behind the pattern. Like, what is it actually telling us when a chart is cup and handling? Okay, so we're building the base. We came up and we got people out that wanted to get out, and it came back halfway, and it was choppy and slow. It went up fast, it went down slow. It's consolidation, and usually it says, okay, this new range that we just expanded in, the 50% retest almost always gets confirmed. So it's like, this is accumulation. This is all like long-term pattern of going up substantially, So yeah, I don't know. It helps more than just like for me to just be like, oh, I see the pattern. It helps more to kind of get like, oh, this means investors are doing this under the hood.
That's what it is. You're trying to find out the psychology of the market at the end of the day, and that's going to get you a lot more profit than just one pattern. All right, guys, I'm going to go start taking a shot here, guys. I'm going on AIMD, guys. Just grabbed the first starter there at 103. Willing to add back here towards the 98s. Going to risk off of kind of the 94 right below it, but willing to add back here slightly below 1. Can go ahead up and set up some limits on that, and looking for this to jump right back to the VWAP. I can sell half of it there and look to see if it rides up towards the top of the trend. We'll see what happens on this AIMD. Taking a shot in the competition account, guys. Let's see what I can do.
Let's get it, baby. I like that. Nice setup.
That's all you can do, man. And now one of the things is, so I went with 2,000 shares. I really don't mind getting some more in this. But now it's just more of a matter, does it give me the pullbacks to even fill? So now I can go ahead up and set that $1 one. I'm going to set up one at 98 cents. Now I got a couple of limit buys right underneath it, looking to add, and then looking for this to kind of ride up there. Oh no! Don't get Steve started on the cup and handle.
I'm glad we conversation segued a little bit, because I was gonna pull up. I'll show you later. I actually just posted to Twitter. I have like so many cup and handles.
Guys, the cup and handle, man. It's right here. It's right here.
For shame.
This is Pikes Peaks, man. That's a good place to go visit. If you guys are ever in Colorado, go to Pikes Peaks.
Very nice. Is that where you're from?
Oh, I used to live there. I love it. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Yeah. All right, guys, just got in some fills there. Look at this, guys. 6,000 shares deep now, guys, right on that pullback. So kind of what I wanted. I got those fills on the pullback. Now I just got to watch for the breakout back above 1. I want a quick breakout right back through it. 110 on the quick spike is going to feel like a nice conviction play for me. Another big thing, I talk about this all the time. So I don't take trades based on indicators, but they give me conviction. What would I want to see? I'd want to see this crossover now, right? It hasn't crossed over, but now I'm looking for that cross to happen. Let's see if we get it.
If anybody is interested in bottom feeding some semiconductors, I think that Micron's forming a nice base over $40 here. I just added to my beat up swing, and the ad is working quite nicely, but we'll see how that goes. I'm seeing basically it just tagged my ADR downside target. It's getting a nice push off here. It's still a little early, so it could come back down. But we got the nice curl on the EMA cloud, whatever you'd call that. My chart's a little messier, to be completely honest. I should turn some of these off. Let's get rid of extra stuff. But yeah, basically, I think that it's I'll do that in a second. I think that it's got some legs and support here. I would be looking for it to come up and then catch like that. Maybe dips down a little deeper. So this is one that I'm keeping an eye on. I did add, but I don't want to risk too much just because it's already up pretty high. But yeah, good momentum trades there. MU is another ticker on the daily that's pushing all these all-time highs. Big old cup and handle, and I think it can ramp a little bit more, but we are getting pretty vertical, so just something I'm keeping an eye on here.
All right, guys, it's still hanging around here, 98s. So just looking to see if AIMD can start getting some volume move. All right, I'm seeing in the chat, Izzy on Netflix. There you go. Get after it, man. Good to see you out there, Zabi. Good morning. Let's get after it. Day trade with Tony. What are you seeing out there? I know you take a lot of trades. I see you in the Discord. Let us know. I see Kava mentioned there. I wonder how that stock is continuing. That was a beast.
Move so out insane. Open. Oh, man. Yeah. What am I doing? Everybody was saying it was the next Chipotle. Man.
All right, guys, looking around, trying to find what's making a move. The one thing that I can see is on the volume thrust, this KAVL is just taking the reins, guys. What is going on? Ooh. Tobacco is wacko, man, but not for Kava. Kaval, this is the real Kava you should have been buying. Forget this. Forget the Chipotle. This is the burrito today, man. $6.75 from below $2. It's up 482%, guys. I know there's probably some traders in the competition taking this. Let's take a look, guys. Let's see what positions I'm seeing out there. Definitely seeing some Zap short being the top position out there. The Kava, there's the KVL long. There's one of them. Opening price $389. That guy's doing great right now. We'll see what happens there, guys. A lot of trades out there. LVGN, AIMD. Oh, he's short on me. We'll find out.
So this MU trade is just exploding off this 140 handle. I'm surprised. It's really got some juice to it here. So if anybody is in this or just for the exercise here, what I'm looking for is an engulf of the morning here. That'll put us having a nice hammer candle on the daily. Really messed me up when it gapped up and then rolled overnight. That's not what I was looking for, but this is exactly the kind of healing I would like on a little bit of a higher time frame. Oh man, like it's got the curly top. Oh, looks like my ad just trimmed there. Nice. Got a 30% gain on one contract to kind of dig me out of this position hole. Wow, look at that. Okay, yeah, so here's what we're kind of looking for with the cooking up here to engulf here. So now we've got resistance coming down, which has been pretty reliable. This 5-minute trigger seems like it's been good through the morning session, so I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if it does bat it down. I think probably the new volume here is going to make it come up, consolidate a little, and then hopefully rip higher. I think it does want to come and take this high out. We will see. Just what I'm looking at here. Yeah, it's cooking.
All right, guys. I'm setting up. I'm trying to do some more stop limit buys off of AIMD if it starts to rip. Just to keep you guys on that. I see in the chat someone talking about shorting CCL.
Ooh, cruises.
That's interesting. Something I haven't even taken a peek.
I got my butt cooked trying to short RCL. That is a crazy stock.
Yeah, man. That's a little, just a tad bit crazy there.
Yeah, only what is it? Let me pull up the chart. What, it's like 300% gains or something on the year, basically NVIDIA.
Yeah, you can't stop that right now. And then one of the things that I would say about that is NCLH was one that I was looking for the upside, but that's just me, right? Because big thing is NCLH. What I could see is that so if oil pricing keeps going down, it's probably going to help these cruise lines. But we'll see what happens. That's a hard downside candle today. So definitely getting the wash on those. Leisure could be getting a big hit there Are the airlines getting a hit? I've been waiting to see DAL take a dump, and look at that. This could be one of the top trades for me. I've been waiting to see Delta get hit. I traded it multiple times, even a couple swings. So back to the VWAP later today. I don't mind it. We'll see what happens, guys.
That MU slurp off a 140 level, man. I was down 50% on these contracts and back to break even. That's crazy. All right, cool. I'll take that. We take those. You don't always have to be right. Sometimes you can be lucky. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's you can still cash those checks. So that's all that matters. So SPY getting a nice little catch there off the 1 minute trigger. If it's cool for like 2 minutes, I could talk about my system here.
Go for it, Steve.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So I got a, this is not an original idea. It's an idea that I saw traders better than me use and work. So shout out to Trader Podcast and Captain Jim James, both great streamers and traders. But yeah, basically it is a set of moving averages, certain moving averages that I'm basically taking the different moving averages from various time frames and overlaying all of them onto one time frame. So on this 1 minute chart, we see an hourly moving average, a 30-minute moving average, a 5-minute moving average. It's a 1 minute moving average, the blue there, these jagged lines. So yeah, essentially, you can treat them like normal moving averages. You play like crossovers. You want to see them aligned horizontally and curling up, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to play them, but in general, for day trading, you can get some really nice moves off the 5 and the 1. And then for swing trades, I like to wait for an hourly stop or an hourly pullback. So that is why I was liking this MU trade here. Had the hourly, came back, undercut it to a major round number. Now, if we reclaim this, then we're starting to kind of cook. That's what I'm kind of watching here. Now we are pulling back a little bit, but yeah. So I'm looking for stacked moving averages, and I keep it pretty simple. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that go into my framing of trades and getting directional bias and everything. But once I'm in, I keep it pretty simple, and I let basic indicators be my guide. And of course, I'm not. I don't let them do all the trading for me. I gotta have my own discretion, but I like to limit the amount of variables where I can shoot myself in the foot, if that makes sense.
Can't blame you on that.
I figure most indicators are kind of interchangeable. You know, they're signposts. They're not the map. They're not the territory, I guess I should say.
So yeah. the way that I always look at those is I'm thinking that, hey, one thing they can tell me is if I got into a good position. Maybe they can't get me into the good position, but they can give me a little bit more conviction.
Yeah,
that's absolutely what I look for indicators to do for me. That I think they can do, right? That is something that it can definitely show you. Hey, am I in a momentum move? Well, look at the indicators. A lot of indicators are really good to tell you if there's momentum in the stock. They can't tell you where to enter a lot of the times, but you're going to tell you if the momentum has now shifted in your direction.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's when I feel confident, right? When I get positions like that where, you know, now the RSI is completely flipping off oversold. Now you're getting trends to hold on moving averages. You're getting a Bollinger breakout to the upside. Things like that. Conviction, not necessarily going to tell me to get in the trade, but definitely will give me a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, and you're mentioning multiple classes of indicators too, which is I think a big thing for people, because it's one thing to have all those different things providing confluence. It's another thing to look at your your RSI and your TTC squeeze and your TTM squeeze and your money flow or whatever. There's a lot. For oscillators, at least. I don't know. For me, it's really easy to convince myself I'm right. I don't know about you, but I think I'm great. So I gotta check myself as much as possible.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. Greed will get to you. That is 1,050%, man. All right, guys, starting to take a little bit of a shot here in the AIMD. I'm slightly in the green here. I have orders to add, so let's go ahead. Let's put it up here, guys. 8,000 shares up. 101 is the entry here. looking for that curve to come in. And what was I looking for? MACD cross. We just talked about this, right? So I got in before the cross happened. So now that the cross is happening, this is what's giving me the little bit more of the conviction to add those sizes on pullbacks and looking for this to expand away, right? Not to tighten, but expand away. This is what I like to show you guys, because I feel like this is what you guys can learn from, right? It's not necessarily always just about, you know, me making money here. It's also what I can teach you guys. So there you guys see it. Now, if it goes in my direction, right? Let's say like a nice little pop here to like 115, you'll see this start to expand away and make its way towards the 0 line, which is up here where it rejected the last time. So I'd love to see it by later in the day back above that 0 line. We're over here where you kind of rejected that move. Let's see if we can get back into that area and really start rocking and rolling.
Absolutely.
We'll see.
Yeah, no,
Taking a shot, guys.
I love your approach on pyramiding into winners. I think this is a big thing that separates more average traders from, let me switch this to the other tab, from you know, the really cream of the crop. I think that it's one thing to, you know, get into good positions 50% of the time, but it's another thing to really capitalize on that, you know.
That's for sure.
I think that the really best traders, the amount they make on the real bangers, the real winners, is insane, you know. So that's something that I look to emulate, because I'm scared, man. You know, this is scary out here sometimes. It's
yeah, man.
It's so tempting to take the quick money, you know.
And it's so important to try to expand the winning, right? Like that's just what I've learned, and that's why I like swing trading so much. Because a lot of times I can just set the position, set the stop, know where I'm looking for, and just once I get into this position, like let's say like a firm, when you sell that first piece on a nice breakout, it's so much less pressure, I feel,
you're cooking
than day trading for me. Great. And that's all about personality, guys. Some people can't go to sleep if they have a swing trade on. Dude. They literally stay up all night. I can't do that. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up. I don't even need to wake up at 4. I don't need to stress that much, because usually my swing trades, I always talk about it in trading. A lot of day traders do this. They let one trade make them and break them.
Yeah.
That's my number one rule not to do. I'm not trying to make myself on one trade, and I'm definitely not trying to break myself on one trade.
Exactly, because that's the other side of it, right? Oh, are we seeing some people back here?
You know it, Steve. You know it, man.
Okay, I'm seeing a bit of red on the tape there, huh?
Yeah, there's some tape. There's some red coming in here, guys. I'm seeing a little bit of a decline coming in, guys. I might have to get out of this AIMD for a loss here, guys. 90 is the stop out. It's already set here. I'll see if I get a recovery, but 90 stop out already set here. It might take a little bit of $1,000 hit, but that'll still leave us $1,000 to play with today. Let's keep battling. I'll let you guys know.
I'm looking for a catch here. I'm looking for a catch on SPY. If it can reclaim the 541, this could be a nice dip buy. It is a little scary, though. I think that maybe we need to make another bottom. Double bottom it out. Yeah, it's still looking heavy. So keeping an eye there. I'm going to get some hedges up here just in case.
Need an immediate recovery here as I get a MACD cross back over what I don't want to see now.
I want to see a little more volume, but decent push back up here to retest this hourly trigger on the backside. Yeah, still heavy. Bookmap kind of leading down. But there's decent support below too. I don't know, it's a little tricky here.
KAVL opened up, went all the way up there towards a high of 804, now back to 6. So that's moving around all around. Be careful out there, traders. We'll see what we get into.
Yeah, shaking and baking here. Having a bit of a hard. It's kind of ambiguous here to me, honestly. The overnight action really messed me up. You know when you have like a game plan and you're like, all right, I feel pretty good about where the market's going. Even if I'm wrong, I have contingencies. Well, now my contingencies are all wacky too. So got to figure out where we're headed. I do think that this is likely a dip buy opportunity if you're brave, but I don't think I'm brave today. It's Friday and I want to end the week strong. So I'm seeing relative strength on MU, which is the only trade I have open right now. I'm keeping in that one. It's doing the right things, just kind of going level to level up here. I actually really like the strength on this because it was a pretty significant downside move there. when you get the blow off move from after hours into the cash session, 3.5% on a stock like this is pretty significant. So if it can recover more than half of that, feeling pretty good about it, kind of forming a base and finding acceptance up here. Otherwise, I'm a little scary because this thing is on stilts if it doesn't have momentum. It does have momentum, it could go.
Guys, there is one in a halt. CNSP. I like to let you guys know on those. Another biotech on the halt action. CNSP, big push up there, guys. And then I'm seeing BIMI being mentioned out there, 225. Raya just showed up there. And then CanF, I'm seeing still. KAVL is moving all around. We'll see if that makes another run. And then LGVN, top one watch that was watched this morning, pulled back there to the 325, now trying to recover 350s. We'll see if that happens. There it goes, guys. I took the hit, guys. Took the hit there on AIMD there, guys. And that's how it goes. Was looking for the trend line break back to the upside. It's back down through the 90s. I'm out of it, guys. Took the hit there. Down about 1,000 on the day. So we still got about 1,000 I can play with. Let's keep going. Big thing is going to be first, let me recover. I'm not going to try to get it all back in one piece. I'm just going to try to get back here towards like kind of a break-even day so I could still take the swing to get to the top 10. Even if I take a $2,000 hit today, I still will be in the top 50. But, man, I'm trying to get to that top 10.
All right, still seeing heaviness on the tape there. Bummer about the stop out, by the way. But yeah, like
you
said,
name of the game, right?
Man. Name of the game, right? I love
exactly,
the attitude.
Man.
Love the attitude.
I went 3 for 4 yesterday. We don't got to go perfect, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I am looking for cat pretty soon here. We are at, I should check my ES chart too, but I think that we are pretty close to a major level on there. Yeah, 54.15. I don't think that we need the full 5,400 retest, but that is on the agenda if we do flip bearish here. I kind of feel like it's holding this volume structure here. Kind of feel like it wants to catch here. See if it can. It's too scary to dip by for me though. Considering cutting some Marva or MU now that I'm back to break even on those. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for. As of now, we came down hard. Let me pull back a little bigger picture. We're in this big probable flag pattern. Potential topping pattern, I guess, but I see more of a flag. We came back down, sliced. Now we're back testing this. If this is a rejection, we could see more downside. Could come back to retest this and just leave a little bit of a gap. Something I'm kind of considering. I know it sounds like I'm all over the place, but I figure I always do better when I lay out multiple plans of where things can go.
That's what you gotta do, man, and think on both sides of the tape, right? Even if I want to go long, what are the bears thinking?
Right.
What are the bears thinking? Because I want to always know what they're thinking. I'll tell you right now, the charts that I'm looking at, guys. I'm looking at clean spark here, right, on a pullback from this 18. It did try to make a little bit of a new high, went up there towards 1850s, but clean spark is known for doing this. Look at the last times. Right here, an 1850 break and right back down. Right here, break and back down. So that's where we got to be careful for maybe pullbacks to 17 first. So I'm looking to see if we can test these kind of lows in the pre-market, is 1780, 1775, then start working its way back. Clean likes to wipe out some traders and then come roaring back. That's how it did it yesterday. It wiped out some traders on this opening drive, pull back all the way back down to the 17 support, and then drove right back up. So I could also look at this for the Mara trade, similar, right? So attempt to break down, attempt to get towards like this 1975, 1960s, and then roaring back to the 20s is what I'll be watching.
Man, Mara's been such a...
it's a tough trade. It's a tough trade, man.
Trader, yeah.
It's a tough trade. You got to be quick, man. And if you're not quick, you get runned over. That's how these trades are. You got to have that fast type of mentality.
Dude, it almost trades like a Heikin-Ashi chart. It's like, all right, dude, we're going to pop 10 green candles or 10 red candles. You ready? Let's go. It's just
exactly, so dude. That's why sometimes, man, you bring up an interesting conversation for those traders out there. And we can talk about this maybe a little bit next week on a little bit more about that. I've actually been looking towards, man, and I do this sometimes. on different charts. And what I'll do is I'll do it on a chart that I'm not watching. Go ahead. What you got, Steve?
This is we got a buy candle here. This is strong volume. I'm looking to get into a call.
Okay. I even want to see this.
It might be a little early. I should wait for this candle to close, and I will. Okay. But that was a nice pop up on volume. I saw the book map shift significantly, and that would be a reclaim of the 5-minute trigger, and it would be this scooping on the. I love 200-minute or all 200 moving averages, but 200-minute moving average for intraday trend. I love seeing a catch there, and then volume coming in with the book map spike. So yeah, that's a long for me. We'll see how it goes.
All right, guys, looking right now at GOEV. Just got a starter there, looking to add on pullbacks. Also, we'll keep it up on your trade, but I'm taking the GOEV. Of course, that's the EV trade that I talked about. I already explained the thesis, so we'll see if it works out here. Taking some shots here, Tree. Let's see if we can get it today.
I'm ready.
It's the only way, man. There's only one way to trade. Taking shots. I know it's Friday, but not those shots, guys.
Let's wait for the
let's wait for the green first. Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. If we could have like a monster trade today, I might have to pull out the double Woodford a little early. Little Woodford action. JFBR showing up on my scanners, guys. I just want to give you guys that information. JFBR showing up. That's a penny name.
So I should have waited for a follow-through minute candle, I think, because I did get the close that I was looking for, but then it just rejected it. So I'm going to take a quick stop out here, I think. We'll see if this candle closes. I am seeing relative strength in some of the other things I'm watching, so I'm not like too worried yet, but decent wake up.
All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick second here. I'm going to set a stop just to protect myself, guys. I'll be right back here. I'll leave you just for 2 seconds, Steve.
Cool. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at other things in the market here too. What do I want to check out? Dixie double topped a little into the first target, came back, pulling back into where you'd expect it to catch. So could see continuous trend, strengthen dollar. That would lead to downside in equities if it sticks, but got to see what it's going to do there. So far, quite constructive. It's trying to recover this this trigger here. Big level at 1260. What is that? 68. I gotta say, kind of looking constructive on secondaries. Not what you want to see if you're a bull. What else can we look at? And other secondary indicators like GME. Sometimes GME, it puts a red candle in and SPY puts a green candle in. I don't know why. Not a tinfoil guy, but maybe there's something there. What else do we got? What's going on in chat here? Coin. Trouble getting over that hourly, but pretty flat here. If it can scoop, it could really go. But it could also keep getting batted down. Crypto's been hard this week. All right. TLT having a green day, silver and gold up.
RNA. That's an interesting biotech that's been hot lately. Will this turn around today? It's an interesting one. All right, GOEV kind of turning around a little bit, pulled back. Now it's trying to reload off the 240s, get that 250 pop. That's what I'm looking at on this GOEV, guys. I have right now 240s. I want to add off the trend line, so I'm okay with pullbacks here towards 230s and then that scoop back because it could build that kind of inverse head and shoulders. Kind of build a little bit of a shoulder here and then see that move. So I'm still leaving the possibility of ads right there. And then the drive higher. What you got?
I just think we might be going lower. I got stopped out there.
All right.
Seeming pretty heavy. Secondaries are kind of supportive. VIX and Dixie both seem like they could catch. Something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, SPY down move there. Pretty strong there too. NVIDIA is one that I'd look at for quick moves, but that's just if I want to look at that. Tesla's going down big, fast. So that's definitely a nice wash. Apple down to 213. We'll see if we get a recovery there, but definitely strong down day there. AMD had just recently recovered that 160 support. Can it hang on to it? Man, it's been a shake on AMD.
Yeah, that's been torturous for bulls.
Torturous.
I'm not convinced. Gotta say.
Torturous for sure, to say the least, guys. The AVL almost back to VWAP, guys. 550s on that CAVL. Last halt, second halt was off of 497, so that's one area that I could look at on KAVL, but we're talking one of the toughest trades that's out there right now.
So SPY is responding to 540. We'll see if it sticks it, but decent move there. This could be our double bottom trying to form from pre-market. Something to consider. But could get hairy too.
All right, we'll see if the KAVL does one more wash here, closer towards 5. I'd like to see a quick decline get bought up towards that 5. VWAP is at 513 on KAVL. LVGN looking pretty heavy, but holding off the 330 support. We'll see if that comes back on the day, or does it start to wash? What's going on out there, traders? Can you peep at TNXP? I got you, Wisdom. I'll take a look. All right, TNXP 120s starting to move around. Let's take a look at the hourly here. You can see the hourly definitely has that bottom where you can go off of. This looks like more of like your style of a trade that maybe some traders would just use that bottom and be like, hey, if it let goes 110 today, I'm getting the heck out of that. Low here, 108. Maybe that's the level they're using right there, putting a kind of hard stop off of that level. You could get bounces off of that level. Really need to see the recovery get back through that 130. That can show you at least that buyers maybe have it for today. We'll see if it gets back up there. That 130 is so important. There's a range between 130 and 110 right now that it's kind of chugging around. We'll see if it gets moving there. That KAVL, let's see if we can get that quick little dip into the 5s. You got a dip there to 533. Did not break to the downside like I was looking. I'm looking for that quick little tap, 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 and then right back up. All right, GOEV kind of moving all around here. There's that move for this KAVL. I want to kind of look at it here to maybe take a little bit of both trades, but it's very hard because there's 2 fast trades on there. So that's one thing that I do want to take a look at it here. So the way that I would approach this is that I need to kind of get up to like 1,000 shares that I can make a nice little gain there. So I put it in 200 lot orders here. I can do 510 So we're going to do 510. We're going to do 5 right on the dot. I'm going to do 480s just for a quick dip. And then one at the top here that I can mark it in. So now I have 3 orders and I have like 2 that I can mark it in here. A little ladder below here to kind of grab it on quick pullbacks. And then if I wanted to, I could grab a piece here at the 540s, 530s, but would rather it be on below VWAP. Below VWAP is 514. So like 515s, I don't mind trying to grab. We'll see what happens, guys. And then GOEV into the green now. Now just did that spike here. Got it going, guys. Got it going. So now I'm going to add on pullbacks here. Okay, GOEV. 40s on pullbacks. That's where I want to add here. 240s, 238s, and 242. There's a 250. This is the spot that I really think it can move here, guys. So it could just run away from me with only the 2,000 shares. And if it happens, hey, that's fine, guys, right? So the big thing is I was seeing like this 5-minute pullback here. It was kind of holding. Now you get that nice bullish engulfing. So pullbacks to the 240, 238s. That's where I want to be adding and looking for it to get to this high, this 260, and start to push towards 3.
It's quite strong. It's coming back there.
250s, and the daily chart on this doesn't look bad either. You can see here this nice little long-term trend line approach. I look for these all the time, guys. So this has spiked out of this long-term trend line, now has this rounding bottom. Volume is increasing into the move, so that's another thing that I'm looking to see. Volume is increasing out of this. Now it's all about the next highs and yesterday's high. Can you get above 261 closing towards 3? This is going to be looking really bullish on the daily. So that's one of the ones that I'll be looking at. Doesn't look bad at all. All right, let's go back to Kava. No fills there on the pullback there. So hey, if I missed this one, it's fine. It was right off the VWAP. It went to a low of 523s. I had orders out 13 cents lower than that, right? So it is what it is. We'll see if this one just rips and goes towards the 3rd halt. That's what I was thinking. There's a halt here. Definitely if it gets back through 8, there's probably the 3rd halt. That's what I was looking at. But hey, now that this is starting to make the move and GOEV is starting to move up, I'm just going to go ahead and cancel these orders because that's easily how you just get picked off. So cutting down those orders. There's 6 already. This is where I probably would have been selling a good portion. Like if I have 1,000 shares, I don't mind selling some right here at the whole dollar, then holding the rest break even, and you can just literally get off the tape. This is when I talk about like letting the market work for me. I'm taking some green and then just letting the market work for me. What's another one that we can keep an eye on? WHLR is showing up there. That's been hot for a while, man. I feel like this might come down. It's weird for a REIT to be that strong, but yeah, something to show up on.
Very strange. Huh.
This is one that I like. I've been looking at REITs that are making sense. American Tower, back above 200. Hey, I kind of like it. It's a more expensive stock. It's not something you always talk about, but hey, I'm always going to give you guys trends when I see them.
Totally. Wow. Okay, we are getting a nice push up here. Sheesh. Guess I should have held that call.
Little shake and bake.
A little shake them out there. Yeah, so let's see. This is the last zone where it could kind of reject. It is initially wicking down from there, but it seems pretty strong. It is cooking this hourly trigger now. This is what we like to see. Oh, this is waking up. We're waking up. So I'd like to see it close over this swing high to really get us cooking here. Or the high of the day, I suppose. And there's relative equal highs there, so it's very, makes a lot of sense if it goes there. Let's clean up this line. Yeah, looking good, looking better. So if it doesn't reject this little pocket here, then should see a sweep here and hopefully flag out towards the high day before we move higher. What we don't want to see is sweeping and then hard move.
All right, guys, looking for a new high of day on GOEV now. We're at the 258. I want to see a breakout towards the 275s, and that's where I'll probably just take the profits there, guys, because I didn't get full size, so I'm just trying to get myself back to break even, give myself to $2,000, and maybe take another shot later in the day. See if we get that new high of day on GOV. Let's go. Let's go. Zappy zap. You want to wake up too? That'll help.
I need to wake up. I'm getting sleepy. Charles needs to move here.
Celsius.
I know.
Time for our sponsor, Celsius.
You a Celsius man?
Oh man, they need to sponsor me because I can make them some good money on stream, man.
Oh yeah,
we can literally have Celsius time where we crack open a Celsius in the middle of the market in the hardest points of the market. Look at that, Celsius. Reach out to me.
I'm so here for it, man. That the tropical the
tropical vibes. Oh, that one's good, man. There's some good ones out there.
Yeah,
man. I might have to go get a tropical vibe right now. It's in the fridge.
Let's see.
It's waiting for me.
Man, Celsius, we got some pain for the long-term holders here. I just started a position. I'm already feeling the pain. I started at the 200-day, about 65.50. Still diving. I don't know where it's going. I think it's filling in this gap right here and back testing this as support, but
GOE right back down, guys. Getting me out pretty much break even here, guys. So hey, that's how it goes, guys. It got up there to 258. I was hands on the trigger to watch that break to the profit side. It's right back towards the 239s. Could bounce off this 240s and then really make the move. But what I didn't want it to do is just kind of get below my entry and wipe me out there. So I can add back on the break, maybe for a little bit of a scalp play on this. Didn't have the size that I need there, but it's still holding the 5-minute low. So that's actually a good level. Just a lot of shake there. The size and volume is still good. ASTS showing up. Can I get that $10 break? Space Mobile. This has just been slowly climbing.
Just insane. I was like, I missed it at 5, and I should have just slammed it. That was so often
trying to recover. All right, let's go to that Kava. Look at that thing, man. 640s. A little pullback to VWAP. Wasn't that bad there.
Don't like that candle on SPY. Might be an hourly rejection. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it.
All right, looking around at the competition here. Let's see who's up. Let's see who's down. Who's making the money out there, guys? Looks like the Zap short zapping on. And he's still hanging in there. He's got the 275. He's had that overnight. GME short doing pretty well, up 10 grand there. So not bad on that. Definitely a good shot there. And this trader up 71K with a GME short, another 10,000. Look at that, guys. All right, guys, I'm falling down here in the rankings. I'm over here, guys. So I'm trying to make my way back. I'm at the 12,000s. Trying to start making our way back here, guys. But a moment like this could be tough, right? Look at this trader right here. He was up 34, probably in the top 6, and now has gone long on KAVL with 27,000 shares. Opening price was 722. It's at 650s. He's hoping for that KAVL to come back, because if not, it's going to be a tough loss there. So we'll see what happens, guys. Zappy zap. CNSP. Seeing a lot of GME shorts. That seems like a common position out there. All right, this GOEV, I'm gonna take probably one more shot at this, guys, and just go big, and then just hold off of kind of a bottoming here. It's about 10:30 here, so time to step up to the plate here, guys.
I'll be back in just a second here.
Taking a shot here, guys. All right, guys, we're 20,000 shares deep here, guys. I'm taking my shot here, guys. Definitely, I can't risk too much here. I can only risk down to like the 32s. So I want this just to start getting a nice little rocket back to the 260s. I can take profits at that 260s. I don't even need to go much higher than that. Let's see if we can get a nice little move quick here. Stopped out, came back in the name, came back in big. Now I just got to watch and make sure that those lows hold on that recent pullback, which was at 35 here. Wanted to take out that high here, this 58. If it takes out that high, we can go to the 60s. I can take the profits and make a nice $4,000 trade. Let's see what I can get here. Showing you guys it all, taking the shot here. 20,000 shares deep, Steve.
20,000 deep. Let's go. Let's go. What are you buying here?
That's a Celsius trade, man. If there's anything I could say, that's a Celsius trade right there. The tropical vibe, baby.
Oh yeah, that's a vibe. MU, it's cooking me. Come on, back
up.
Yeah.
Janos, man. Janos is taking a shot here on GOEV. I'm taking my shot for the day, guys. If I get to stop out, the 2,000 on the downside, I'll be fine. I'll still be in the top 50. Give myself a shot on Monday. But, I mean, that's what the competition's all about, man. Finding your shot in the day and taking a spin. Clean Spark is another one that I could look at later if I can make some good gains. I was looking for this to kind of like balance around and maybe pull back on the daily. But we'll see what happens. Mara, what's up with Mara? 19's kind of holding in there. We'll look to see if this comes back. I was looking for like 1960s and then a turnaround back through the 20s. What you got, Steve? What are you looking at?
I'm just kind of taking a look over the market. For me, this is kind of getting into spooky dead time, where if I don't see something that's really got momentum, I'm a little bit antsy. I think we maybe need to put in another low. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing much, to be honest. I'm kind of just waiting for the afternoon move, probably. Yeah. I'm expecting a double bottom into the afternoon and then a strong push into close. I have a weekly alert that goes off at 2 p.m. every Friday to buy calls. I don't always listen to it, but it's usually a good idea. Usually I should have.
Well, Longevron, one of the top penny stocks this day. Day trading Tony, don't worry, I got you, my friend. There it is. There's a little pop there. I could catch it on the scanners there. It popped above that 4, now back towards that 370s. So this is that approach, right? You can kind of go after it. I like doing sometimes trend throwback looks. So like right here, you can see this trend throwback look where you got above the trend, right? Look how the wick and the body closed right there. Ooh. There's an important level there, right? I mean, I'm not the only one seeing that level. And so what I look for a lot of times is I'll look at that level and I'll ladder down to the 9 EMA and then looking for this to come back and take out the high, right? That's 410. It's not a bad approach, throwback look. Some traders and algos will actually sell on the rip there and buy it right back. So we'll see what happens there.
That's a knife, ain't it?
What you seeing out there?
Big red. Well, not big red, but
on SPY?
Yeah, yes. I'm grabbing a hedge.
SPY's just trapping around, man. It's just trapping around a little bit today.
Yeah. I grabbed a quick hedge just because I'm not ready to call it quits on this MU position quite yet. I got a week or just a tiny bit red, and I got money locked in on the run or on my trims. So got a delta neutral here with a skew towards long semis. Let's see if it works.
All right, guys, I'm willing to take my shot here in GOEV, guys. A little part of me is even thinking about adding here. So there's the 246. That's a first nice little jump here, guys. So now I need the 250s to show up on the tape and then just take it. So the 240s, 250s. Let's go. Just take it. Just take it. Take it, guys. Take it. Let's see if they take it. They take it. I'm looking for now to push to 256 is that next little push because it's the trend line. And then it's the breakout towards the 260s. Let's see if we can get it here, guys.
Ooh, it's looking like we are going down to me.
All right, here's a little pop. 250s holding here. I'm just looking for another little pop here, and I'm going to sell out half of it. All right, guys, remember I am down a little bit on the day, so I want to make sure that I get myself back break even. I'm just looking for the pop above the 250s. Come on, give me that pop.
Come on, give him that pop.
Give me that pop. Let's go get that Celsius. Get that double Woodford. It's Friday, baby. Tape a little bit heavy. There's some bid action. 944s. The wall's at 258, 259, and 260. So that 258 level, there's a reason why. There's a little wall there. You can see that on the level 2, guys. Here's 251 here, guys. Just the littlest pop, guys, and I'm gonna be able to take out some and just leave the remainder for the run. All right, we're not getting it here. Not getting it. Heavy tape, boom. Sold half there, guys. Big reason why I'm selling half there is because it's the competition and I need to keep myself the ability to add these shares back on pullbacks now. So I'll show you guys right now. Of course, I was down a little bit too. And with that being said, I just wanted to make sure that I could get that kind of that share size back, right? The loss back. So that at least puts me back into play here. So you guys see here, lost 1,170, just paid myself 750s. And now I can just let to see this actually break out or not, right? Just trying to keep myself in the game on the day. A lot of times it's about survival, not trying to play the greed. And I think that this is exactly that type of that game right now, where I could play the greed and just keep all the size, but that's not going to benefit me, man. I know if this is going to go, this is probably going to rip right now through 256. So do I need to push it at that point? Not really. Not really. 10,000 shares will be enough, guys. Trust me. If it rips, it'll be enough. I got skittish for a second, but I think target confirmed the bottom. AV sync. That's how it is, man. That skittish feeling, that's normal.
Oh yeah. You guys have been able to witness me being incredibly skittish all day. I've been getting various degrees of cooked besides the very opening morning here, but I've just been trying to manage and fight it out. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I want to be proven wrong. I don't want to get taken out of a trade and then have it work. I want to define my risks so that if I'm proven wrong, it doesn't beat me up too bad.
You guys just watched it happen there on that LGVN. They cut through the 9. It goes to 362. That to me felt like the good risk off the 350 VWAP, 354, and it scoops right back to the 388s. That's the kind of action you want to be seeing, right? Because to tell you the truth, I'm sure on that pop, those are the sells that I used to do all the time. I used to be like 1,000 shares here, plus 20 on the average. I'd hotkey into that. Could have got that fill already, right? And so let's see if it really takes out the 4 today. This long chevron, people are watching it. All right, guys, it's 10:36, guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the action. I can take a look into how the trades are doing out there. There are some big boys out there. Definitely the Zap short, the GME shorts are making money out there, man. Where is GameStop now? 2760s. Wow, that's definitely taking a hit. We'll see if it turns back to the upside. The Amara short out there. So there's some trades out there, that's for sure. KAVL short, that one's not going to be too bad. 570 open on that. All right, guys, for GEV, it's coming right back to it here. That long chevron, you're getting another opportunity. We'll see if it actually makes that move here. And so this is what I was a little concerned about, right? If I never took profits there, guys, let's just be honest, I wouldn't be making too much right now. And then at this point, I would be like testing the 20K that it could really quickly come down, right? So we'll see what happens here. I have a stop out here right below it at like kind of the 238s. That's just for protection. Looking for this to come right back up through the 250s. If it comes back towards the 254, I can add and look for the swing. So the move right back through the trend line is what I'm going to look for now. So it came up here and it hit it right on the nail, right? So now on the fourth attempt, I always talk about this. This is my rule of 3, guys. So up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Create me a solid support area. Now I have this solid off this kind of 240s to 238s. And now looking for the takeout of the high through the flagging pattern. I can measure that. That's about 39 cents from here. So maybe break out above that, about 40 cents. That puts it somewhere near in the 290 spot towards the 3 look. That seems to make sense to me. That's a breakout into this level over here, into the 280s to $3 spot. We'll see if we're able to get it there. Measuring it out, man. Just using the patterns, using what's given to me. GOEV, let's see it. And Longevron kind of hanging out there
again, but we are looking at some support here, keeping an eye on it.
We'll see if Longevron gets going here. This 370s, I'm sure there's some traders watching this. It could go both ways there. Let's recover the VWAP. That's going to be that first step. A nice move to 251. If I can get that nice move to 251, I can go ahead and just look for the 256 takeout. Vizio moving. I haven't seen that moving forever.
Yeah, that's an old name. Let's see. I'm just seeing blood on my watch list. Nothing is sparking joy.
How's that AMD short looking? It cracked the 160s. Doesn't look too bad there.
Yeah, AMD short could be nice.
Yeah, the big thing is you can see how I'm sure there's some traders that have been like, oh, well, the support's going to hold there. The support's going to hold there. Support's support until it ain't.
Right. Keep testing that rubber band. It'll snap.
Yeah, man.
No, that's just physics.
Yeah, it's testing it too. That's the truth.
Straight up, yeah. We'll see. I don't know.
You can see that on that AMD, guys. This is what we're talking about on the daily chart. You can see the indecision in the candles too. They're like almost the same, and the wicks are on both sides. That's as much indecision as you're gonna see on a daily candle, right? And so,
right. Try it up, fail. Try it down, fail.
Yeah, exactly. That's just chopping people sideways. And so what do a lot of people look for? They're like, well, I just don't want to trade if it's low volume. And you're getting that lower volume into the move, right? That's where it gets tough.
Right. And what are we seeing in the low volume, right? We're seeing shares running out at that price. So if it's a bullish, flag, then that's usually good. But if they're running out of people to buy here, that's sus, So keep an eye on it. Got good luck, Lapcat back. Let's go.
Yes. Sir Hendricks, how's the market looking? He fell asleep. That tells me it all.
That's my quant.
Got to put little glasses on him. My nephew's writing a book about supposedly a mad cat scientist. So who knows? Maybe he's taking over the world over here.
Very cool.
246. Let's go. GOEV. Here's the shot of all shots, guys. Let's see if I can do it here. So I'm going to do something different, guys. I'm going to show you guys a different order form that you guys can be using. So I'm going to use a stop limit here. Stop limits are an interesting perspective. You're doing a trigger and then a limit order after that. So what I normally do is I'll do the trigger on the breakout spot and put the limit below on the throwback look add. So this is just my kind of strategy that I like to use when I'm in the green, right? I'm in the green here looking for the breakout. So what I can do is I can go stop limit here. Let's look above the trend line. What's the above trend line breakout? So like, let's say 256 would be for me that above the trend line breakout. So 256 on the stop. And then what I'm going to look for, where's the throwback look? The throwback look is to these closes right here. So that's 250 on the pullback. So then here on the limit, I'm going to put 250. So I will buy 10,000 more shares at 250 on the limit, but only after the trigger of 256. So then it sets up on the order form like that. And then you can see it right here, guys. I'll show you guys it on the Axo Trade the Pool platform, right? You guys see it right here. See how the stop is here? So break out above that, then add me on pullbacks here. That's just the way I'm looking at it, guys. We'll see if we actually get it. I like to show you guys different ways to approach order forms, and I think it's so important. There's too many people that just use one way, right? You got to have different ways, different tools in the tool belt.
This is looking like maybe a little bottom here.
LVGN hanging tight, guys, hanging tight off that 370. What's going to happen with this one? This one's a really interesting one, guys. 2 million shares on that first break. Look how the volume just died. We'll see what happens there, guys. 5-minute chart on GOEV still looking decent, especially if we can keep holding the 9 and the VWAP. So break above the 250s is what I'm looking for. I would love to see it just spike to 275, but that's just me trying to call the rainbows out there. All right, guys, it's 10:44, guys. I hope you guys been enjoying the competition all week, guys. Been battling here with you guys, showing you guys the positions, big positions, taking some swings. Also taking some swings in the swing trade account. Affirm, Mara on right now. Still looking at Affirm as it comes back here. We'll continue to watch it, see if it gets to the 31 spot for me. But that's what it's all about, team. We're going to continue doing this next week, guys. I want to give you guys a little bit of a special announcement. I'm probably not even allowed to do this, guys. So smash the like, guys. Always trying to give you guys the alpha, right? Well, guess what, team? Next week, we are going to be with you all week also. Forget Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday only. Right here, you guys can get Money Mitch all week. So smash that like. Let me know that you guys enjoy that. Hit the comments after the show especially. I want to know the feedback. How you guys been enjoying me taking over and kind of showing you guys what I like to take an approach on. And if there's any area in my trading you want to learn more about, or there's an area you're like, well, I don't care about that, let me know, because either way, I pay attention. And the number one thing I look for in life is feedback, because that's how we make true improvement. Same way in our trading, guys.
Love it.
All right. Testing down. We'll see if we get back.
I'm going to go out and make some good decisions this weekend.
Yes. Jay Angelo. That's what it's about. Future day trader. Hope you enjoy it, man. Let's get after it, team. All right, guys. Not seeing much right now on that GOEV. Got the stop set for an 800 loss. And why can I do that? Because I made 700 on the gain earlier. So I'll just risk what I made, right? Just risk what I made here, give myself a shot here, and really giving myself a room on the stop. If I put the stop right now, 238, that's like asking to get hunted. Like, that's just like, hey, you just want to put your hand out. That's like playing poker and just flipping your hand immediately, telling everybody what your hand is, but I'm playing against you.
Not recommended. So
Not recommended.
I'm seeing some double bottom type action. I just don't know if it holds. We're a little early in the session. I don't know.
They've just been testing it's kind of the indecision move a lot today. I feel like that's what it is. It's that weekend indecision. Do you want to be long all weekend long? Find out.
Really? Not really, but I also think that shorts are going to get squeezed into close. But
that's how it goes a lot of the times. It can look like that all day long. This is an interesting one, this RNA, because like For me, biotechs are sometimes where I can find like the best shorts and stuff like this. So this stock went through all-time high on a gap up. So it's on this island by itself. It's just like it's on the castaway island, right? And it keeps trying to make new highs, but you see how the candles are slowing down. That tells me that you could get that swing right back down or the expansion move back to the upside. So that gives you the perspective of what's going to happen here. Well, the setup all day is for a bounce back to the upside. I could see this actually maybe making a wipe down move. All of a sudden, boom, it's washing out traders to the long side, washing out traders to the long side. Next thing you know, on the daily chart, this turns into a red candle really quickly. So that's why I always look at daily and how is the intraday action leading towards the daily action.
Absolutely. That's a big
because sometimes, Steve, and I know you probably seen it often, man, is that you look back at the daily chart, a lot of times even the shakeouts, you won't be so worried about it. Because the daily chart still looks great and bullish. That's what happened on Apple. Apple, if you were looking at that 15-minute washout earlier in the week with that AI mention, well, if you were on the 15-minute or the 5-minute, you were probably like, oh my God, pulling your hair out sideways. This is just flushing. But it just went to daily support.
Right.
That's all that it did. That's all it did, guys.
They're skinning people who are staring at 1 minute candles, like me a lot of times. So yeah, it's a great reminder. Great reminder to zoom out.
It's a great reminder indeed, my friend. I talk about it all the time. You want to be using short time frames, and that's perfectly fine. But always understand what's in the multi-time frame and what's happening there, and do they line up? Because if the dailies line up with those 15s and hourly pullbacks, that's when I really get those high conviction plays.
Totally. And I was recently talking to my friend, and it's interesting because people always talk about constructing a bias from higher time frames in, which I think is super key and important. But I also think it's worth keeping in mind that all higher time frame flips have to flip on a lower time frame first, right? It's there's a synergy. It's kind of like as above, so below, right? The higher time frame influences the lower time frame action, but the lower time frame, what actually happens on those time frames is going to set the stage for these larger candle moves. So yeah, that's why I really focus on candle flips, especially hourly flips and 4-hour flips, because I'm looking to see where that next candle's building out, like you're talking about.
Yeah, it's so important, guys. We're getting a question in the chat there about daily open and without it being a horizontal line. I think that's the only way to set it right now. Of course, we'll have different charting services that might have a little bit of a different way, Alejandro. So one thing I recommend is you see me here. You see me using multiple paid tools. It's not just I'm using Trade the Pool, right? I'm using my TC. I'm using my Trade Ideas. I have Benzinga Pro opened up, and all of them can give me different charting services. So what I'd say is if you need tools that might help you, maybe the horizontal line doesn't work for you, well, find a tool that does, right? And so that's what I always say is that's how trading is. You got to find tools that can benefit you and help you be a better trader.
Yeah, for free trading services, TradingView is always good.
There's so much out there, guys. You just gotta you gotta be resourceful as a trader, especially when you're starting. And then as you start to make profits, you can look for more and more services that can benefit that process, right? Like sometimes I feel traders get too upset about, let's say, payment for order flow. But for me, necessarily in day trading, yes, that can come into play. But for swing trading, not worried about that too much. Yeah. The 2 pennies that you made on me, yeah, you made the 2 pennies, but it's not going to hurt me too much.
Algo Bros feasting, but we got our targets set a lot higher,
Yeah, exactly that. All right, guys, here's that attempt here. GOEV now starting to kind of just sideways prop, looking good. And what I got here is an interesting candle that I like to look at all the time. The penny stock traders, they like to call this one the hammer candy. And this is exactly that hammer candy style setup. So now if I get a close, let's say a big breakout close, right? A big breakout on the square, I'll draw the candle, right? Like if it's like this, what does it look like? A bullish engulfing move, right? And so that's what I'll be looking for here. Can we get a close up to these levels? That'll start to close, and then I'll look for throwback looks off of the 50. So let's see if we get it here, guys. Taking the shot on GOEV today. I actually really like this shot, guys. It's an interesting shot to take. I'm up 450s, up 600 now. I just got out on the offer, so I'm keeping an eye on it here, looking for the big swing. I still got 10,000 shares. It's not a bad position at all. Can add here, especially if it starts to spike, and looking for pullbacks to add. Big levels that I'm looking for is this high of the day, right? This 265 area to take some profits, and then really looking to see if we can get up into this spot, right? So let's see what happens here, guys.
It looks really nice. It's got a nice, kind of squinting, but it looks like declining volume on that flag out. It seems like it's, shares are drying up at this level, and soon they'll get bid up between each other.
Yep.
We got some nice pushing up on the indices too. I'm still don't think we're out of the woods yet, but we're coming back up into that 541 key level on SPY. That's our hourly trigger there, and if we flip that, then that's when we start looking bullish. So maybe we pop high a day, come back and test that 541, and then we make our decision. Thinking something like that.
Boom, boom. We're looking good here, guys. Let's see if this can really get going.
Man, I need bigger monitors. I need more monitors, Mitch.
The story of my life, man.
Right? I figured you'd understand the
story of my life, dude. I'm telling you guys, I need to show you guys. I have 4 monitors and rocking and rolling. There's another TV back here that I'll soon have up too. I think I'm just gonna start making a monster setup here for you guys to also be able to follow along, because man, there's just too much. I'm gonna have to rock the 2 computer life. That's the only way here, guys. But definitely, you got to have the tools to help you, right? And definitely, I'm going to give you guys also a little bit more of the perspective screens where you guys can see my screens also. So we'll be kind of doing some upgrades pretty soon. Hasbro showing up. Clean Spark. You sparking out there? Clean Spark. There it is. Nice. There it is. That tells me that I can double down if I wanted on my swing for Mara. Really, this is the spot, because I'm in at what? 1998, right? I've seen a bottoming on the day. Usually what I'll do is like on my swing trade type. So now if I felt this all day long, right? 960, what did I talk about earlier? Mara 960 coming back, rip through 20. Literally called it multiple times. Why? Because when I see that action, now I just want to react, right? So I can go here, I can go swing trade. Okay, boom, limit. Let's add just like maybe another 20 shares to this. Doesn't look too bad. And where am I going to add it? Just slightly below, right there on the 20. So I want a slight pullback to fill. I'm not going to chase it, but I'm going to put that order out there. And then where am I going to put my stop? I'm going to put my stop for today right underneath this low of the day. Right underneath it. So this is 1964s. I got 1963 and 1962. I can go ahead and put like 1958 and just set it and forget it. Literally walk away, come back tomorrow or maybe later in the day, in the afternoon, and it's up here to the trend line. Then I'm feeling that high conviction that I could look for that overnight swing, sell some, keep the rest for the run. That's the way I'm looking at it, team. We'll see what happens here. That's an interesting one. And Clean Spark definitely on the radar today. I mean, I was playing it yesterday, all throughout. All right, nice little pullback here on GOEV. Now really looking for this to kind of do that nice little rip out here. At this point, breaking through the low of that hammer candy, which is the 240s, would kind of turn this chart around. And the good thing is that I'm in right at 242, so that's just about 4 cents risk here. So let's see if we can really get this going. A lot of symmetrical triangle action building up on that too. You can see that on the 5. You expand this. So you see how you kind of have, and I'm going to erase this for you guys so you guys can see some other action here. I always like to draw trades out, but at the same time, Steve knows it starts getting too much scribble.
Oh yeah, we can read it, but everybody else is just seeing how
bunch of lines.
Mental illness. Just chaos.
Guy just walks in and he's like, "Dude, this guy's This guy's losing it on the lines here.
Pepe Silvio taping yarn to the wall. It gets bad. Yeah.
And another thing is sometimes take another perspective, right? So like I've been taking perspective the whole time. Erase the chart. Do another technical analysis on it. See what you're really seeing, right?
Totally. Yeah, reset your own bias.
Exactly. So the 15 for me wouldn't want it to get down through here because that's the breakdown. You see how this is starting to close higher, close higher. You just got an attempt to break that low. Now I need to see it start taking out these highs to the left on the 15. Because if not, it's just going to look like selling pressure up there. So we'll see what happens with this GeoEV. The setup's there for it. Now it just needs to take that run. All right, let's see what else is going on there. It's kind of funny, but we were mentioning it, and Kava's taking a big beating.
Oh,
man. The restaurant days here. There's one that I've been looking to see if it ever goes public. It's Piatas, but it's similar to like a style of Kava.
Piatas,
Italian.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep that on the radar, man.
Style. Seems like a lot of those names are really strong. Sweet Green, SG. You familiar with that one?
Yeah, man.
There's just looking good.
And you got to find trades like that. You never know. But all of a sudden you start liking the restaurant and starts making sense, man.
Dude, it's crazy the how crazy movers will just fly under the radar. Like I was looking at gas station stocks yesterday, and like they're basically Nvidia. Like CASY is one that's just insane, and it's just like nobody's looking at these, but they're going up. You know, they reminded me of insurance companies like 2022 to 2023.
Take the shot.
Take the shot.
Taking the shot. Kava. KVL, guys, 500 shares there. I didn't want to go too big because I wanted it at 5. So this is one of kind of those where it's like I know I'm reaching a little bit. If I'm reaching, I'm cutting size. I got to give myself room if I'm reaching. Yeah. So this was that like, okay, you scared all the longs now. Now just rip up back. Oh, I mean, so I'll set myself up here for a nice move. Oh, I got it in the swing, guys. That's a mistake here. Let's sell that. Let's sell that. I don't care if I take a small loss there. That's the key about catching yourself, guys. You got to catch yourself, guys. So I made a mistake there. Now just get back on it and try to get the right trade on.
That's one of my most important trading, what would you call it? Aphorisms or something. It's okay to be wrong. Yeah. Not okay to stay wrong.
Not okay to stay wrong. If I keep that position, I could ruin the eval count that actually matters to me. So 515 would have been my entry here. I'm only putting out the order to add at 515. If I don't get the entry and it just rockets off, that's a mistake that I'll have to learn from. And I'll be always transparent with you guys here. Do like this look though. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, it's
I'm
nice,
just looking for pullback fills now. And I have to go in where I got in. So 515, the order's out. If it doesn't fill me, if I start jumping on 526, that's easier as I start playing hero. And then boom, get wiped out.
And then you're like emotionally attached because like it's like not you, but you know, it's like an ego thing. It's like and then
you know exactly what I'm talking about, man.
They're coming for me. They're coming for me.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, guys, it's getting towards 11 here, guys. Can you imagine it? We're almost done here, guys, and no fill there on KVL. A little bit upsetting about that one, but I'm just gonna have to probably cancel for right now. I'll look for a quick dip to get in there, but man, I thought I got that one timed pretty good. Just made a mistake there, but hey, so be it, guys. Gonna keep battling. Not a bad day at all, guys. Kept battling, guys. Worked my way back up and still in the account, right? Still battling. Of course, top trades out there in the market. They're still going out there. That Zap short, the KNSP now with a nice short, 11,000 short there. GameStop, a lot of shorts are definitely playing. I'm going to keep battling, guys. You guys have seen me continue to battle. I'm at 11,799 right now. I've had a kind of a mixed day today, right? Going back and forth. We'll take a look right quickly at the filled orders so that you guys can see it. I always try to show you guys everything. Down about 620, but still made that 750 back. Going to have to just keep battling on the day. We'll see what happens out there, team. Keep battling in the markets. And we'll see what we're able to get in the return. Smash the like if you guys enjoyed the action. We'll see you back on Monday. Steve, thanks for joining me, my friend. And no, the door's always open, man. If you're wanting to ever come on, man, hey, just let us know. Doors open, just like it's open for you traders out there, guys. We're going to keep battling. GeoEV might be able to make me my money. And that KAVL, yeah, Money Mitch will be a little bit upset about that one. But that's how it goes, traders. Stay safe out there, traders. We'll see you next time and keep battling in the markets. Mara swing trade on, Affirm still on, and a lot to keep going, team. We'll see you next time. Hit the like button. See you back on Monday.